Hello everyone. Today I will discuss the different instruments traded in the market. Today's video is specially useful for the beginners who have just started the trading or about to start the live trading. In the capital market, following instruments are traded. This includes bonds, derivatives, and commodities in addition to stocks. Contracts such as options, various loans, and other debt instruments, and commodity futures forms the other segment. Capital market refers to a broad spectrum of tradable assets that includes the stock market as well as other venues for trading different financial products. Currency market is a different market other than the stock market and the bond market. Let's take a look at each instrument one by one. Forex and currency trading. Here, the foreign exchange market is not dominated by a single market exchange, but it is a global network of computers and brokers from around the world. Forex brokers act as a market makers as well and may post bid and ask price for a currency pair that differs from the most competitive bid in the market. That's why you can notice or you can observe different prices, different quotations for a same pair on different platforms. Means one broker, when you will compare the one broker with the other, there are differences in that quotation. Means you can find difference between the bid price and the quote price. Forex market is made up of two levels, the interbank market and the over the counter market. The interbank market is where large banks trade currencies for purposes such as hedging, balance sheet adjustments, and on behalf of clients. The OTC market is where individuals trade through online platforms and brokers. At the moment, the US dollar is most traded currency, making up close to 85% of all trades. Then stands the euro, which is a part of 39% of all currency trades. And third is the Japanese yen, which is at 19%. If you will look into the history of currency trading evolvement, currencies were pegged to precious metals such as gold and silver in the 1930s. But that system got collapsed and was replaced by the Bretton Woods Agreement after the Second World War. That is around 1950s. That agreement resulted in the creation of three international organizations to facilitate economic activity across the globe. Because when you want to trade between the two nations, you need the currencies of those nations. Now, you may have heard about the International Monetary Fund and the GATT, General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade. These are the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. The new system also replaced gold with the US dollar as peg for international currencies. This has happened around in the 1990s when US government promised to back up dollar supplies with equivalent gold reserves. Currency pair. Currency pair, you when you trade currencies, you know that the each currency is quoted by the other currency. So you can see we call it as a currency pair. Euro USD, USD JPY. Euro JPY like this. So first is the base currency and the second is the quote currency. Here value of one currency being quoted against the other. So in the pair Euro USD, Euro is quoted against the USD. Currency pairs like unlike the stock or commodity market, you trade currencies, which means you are selling one currency to buy another. For stocks and commodities, you are using cash to buy an ounce of gold or one share of Apple stock. But in currency, when you buy a euro USD, you are buying the euro and selling the USD. Means you feel euro will rise as and when USD goes down, and you earn the profit when that comes true. All forex trades involve the simultaneous purchase of one currency and sale of another. That is the main thing you just need to know. Now let's take a look at the major currency pairs. Euro USD, USD JPY, GBP USD, USD CHF, AUD USD and USD. These six pairs are called as the major currency pairs. These are the most liquid pairs in the market because you can see all have the US dollar as their part. Euro USD, Euro quoted against the USD. Then comes the USD JPY, largest traded currency pair. GB, these all six are quoted against the USD. Minor and exotic pairs are minors are other than the USD, where USD is not a pair and USD is not a part of the pair, and exotic are the illiquid, means very less liquidity you will find in exotic pairs. These are the USD HGD, USD TRY, some other currencies are there. Those who has the less liquidity, these are called as the exotic pairs. These pairs have slightly wider spreads and as and are not as liquid as the majors, but they are sufficiently liquid market nonetheless. These are generally called as the crosses, means minor currency pairs are called also called as the crosses. The crosses that trade the most volume are among the currency pairs in which the individual currencies are also majors. Like you can find here the euro is one of the major. In euro JPY also belongs to one of the major. Now let's take a look at the stocks. In the stocks, you can find the investing as well as trading. Regarding investing, legendary investor Warren Buffett said, investing as the process of laying out money now to receive more money in the future. Unlike consuming, investing earmarks money for the future, hoping that it will grow over time. Investing, however, also comes with the risk for losses. Means it will not be fairy tale always. Sometimes even you need to see the losses in your account. All goes well, obviously you will earn the profit. If anything acts against that company, then obviously share will fall down and you will lose the money. But investing is the in the stock market is the most common way for beginners to gain investment experience. Now it totally depends upon the individual. What kind of investor are you? Do you want to trade or do you want to invest? Some investors want to take an active hand in managing their money's growth, and some just prefer to set it and forget it. In trading, stock trading is no longer just the domain of investment professionals. Now, anyone with a computer or mobile device has the opportunity to make money. We can, by sitting at home, we can open a demat account, we can open a online trading account and start in trading. The learning curve for becoming a successful stock trader can be very steep, especially for those that it's possible to learn stock trading theory by reading a book, but to gain the practical knowledge, skills, and confidence to trade with your own money requires more extensive training with real time support. Otherwise, you are. That's why always practice first in demo. Every broker provides a demo account and then only move on to the live account. Let's take a look. Derivatives has got three segments: futures, forwards, and options. Derivatives are financial contracts that derive their value from an underlying asset. These could be stocks, indices, commodities, currencies, exchange rates, or the rate of interest. These financial instruments help you make profits by betting on the future value of the underlying asset. You may have heard about the stock futures, commodity futures, and the currency futures. Same goes to the options, currency options, commodity options, and the current stock options. They between two or more parties, and the derivative derives its price from fluctuations in the underlying asset. Derivatives are useful in hedging a position, directional movement of an underlying asset, or just to give leverage to holdings. If you feel your stocks, the holdings in your account are going down, you can sell the derivative of the same stocks. Like this, you can use the derivatives option. Futures. Futures are simply an agreement between two parties for the purchase and delivery of an asset at an agreed price at a future date. If you have heard about the crude oil futures, when it touched the negative that time, even people are not ready to take the delivery of the crude because they were not having the space to store. Traders generally use futures contract to hedge their risk or speculate on the price of an underlying asset. Same as the options also can be used in the same way. Now let's take a look at the forwards. Forwards are similar to futures but do not trade on over. These are traded only on over the content. When a forward contract is created, the buyer and seller may have customized the term, size, and settlement process for the derivatives. As OTC products, forward contracts carry a greater degree of counterparty risk for both buyer and seller because uh, if the seller doesn't turn out to the counter, then you will need to search for that particular person. So it also poses a risk for both the players. Options are similar to futures, an agreement between two parties to buy or sell an asset at a predetermined future date. It is is an opportunity only, not an obligation. Futures are obligations. When you buy a futures, you had to compulsory take a delivery or lying asset. But option, you can sell it at any price if you have purchased any, or if you have sold any option, you can buy it back at any time. So this is the major difference between futures and futures obligations or have any obligation. Similar to futures, options can also be used to hedge or speculate on the price of the underlying asset. Derivatives has got some advantages as well as disadvantages. Derivatives can be useful tool for businesses and investors alike. They provide a way to lock in prices, hedge against unfavorable movement in rates, and mitigate risk, often for a limited cost. In addition, derivatives can often be purchased on margin, that is with borrowed funds, which makes them even less expensive. On the downside, derivatives are difficult to value because they are based on the price of another asset. The risk for OTC derivatives include counterparty risks that are difficult to predict or value as well. Most derivatives are also sensitive to changes in the amount of time to expiration. If you will see options value automatically gets lower when it nears the expiry. So that are the most disadvantages factor related to options. These variables makes it difficult to perfectly match the value of a derivative with the underlying asset. Let's take a look at the bonds. Bonds are also called as the fixed income source because banks gives you the interest. There are various types of bonds: investment bonds, corporate bonds, municipal bonds, government bonds, agency bonds, and junk bonds. Bonds are a type of investment that result in an investor lending money to the bond issuer in exchange for interest payments. Bonds are one of the most important investments available for some. Bonds are units of corporate debt issued by companies and securitized as tradable assets. Even governments issues bonds when governments needs money. So people buy the government bonds and government gives them the interest for a specific period. Bond prices are inversely correlated with interest rates. When rates go up, bond prices fall, and when rates goes down, bond prices rises. Bonds have maturity date at which point the principal amount must be paid back in full or risk default. So that's why bonds are referred to as a fixed income instrument because you are bound to get your invested amount in full. There are certain characteristics of the bonds you must be aware about. Most bonds have the basic characteristics: face value. Face value is the money amount the bond will be worth at maturity. It is also the reference amount the bond issuer uses when calculating interest payment. Coupon rate is the rate of interest the bond issuer will pay on the face value of the bond expressed as a percentage. Coupon dates are the dates which the bond issuer will make interest payments. Suppose you have opted for the quarterly payments, monthly payments, and other, that time you will get the interest. So those are called as the coupon dates. The maturity date is the date on which the bond will mature and the bond issuer will pay the bondholder the face value of the money amount which you have at agreed when your bond matures. The issue price is the price at which the bond issuer originally sells the bond. Now there are different categories of bonds. These are the investment. Corporate bonds are issued by the companies. Municipal bonds are issued by the municipal bodies. Government bonds are issued by the government, and agency bonds are issued by the government affiliated organizations such as Freddie Mac in the US. Junk bond, this is the most alluring types of bonds. New investors often spot is something known as a junk bond. These are generally posted high double digit yields during ordinary interest rate environment. That's why these are called as the most alluring types of bonds. But these have the more risk also. These dangerous bonds can lure you in with the promise of big checks in the mail. It leave you high and dry when the companies that issue them miss payments or go bankrupt. So always be aware of these kind of bonds. Obviously, there are also some risks associated with the bonds as well. Bonds have a reputation that makes people believe they are safer than stocks. There are some real dangers that can hurt new investors who don't know how to reduce risk. And those risks are bond spreads are a hidden commission charged to you when you buy or sell bonds. They can sometimes cost you hundreds of dollars every time you buy a single bond. Bond duration, this seemingly simple term actually refers to the fact that if you buy a bond that matures in 30 years, it could fluctuate far more violently than a bond that matures in 2 years. So always be clear about the bond duration whenever you are trying to buy or invest in the bonds. Foreign bonds, when you buy bonds of other countries or even companies located in other countries, there are very real dangers that you are not exposed to when you purchase in your home country. That's why always check all the aspects related to that another country or that company and then only invest in bonds. So that's it for the day, friends. Hope you have enjoyed the today's lesson. Any questions, any doubt, type in the comment box. I will answer them. See you in next lesson and thank you for watching.